Start. We're streaming. All right. Yep, there we go. Save content. Oops. There we go. All right. Thank you for tuning in. This is your host, Dhane Diesil. And today we want to talk about how to build a business empire the wealthy way. The reason why, hold on real quick. Double check something real quick. All right, we in the game. All right. So today's topic, how to build a business empire the wealthy way. What inspired this topic is I recently had a conversation with one of my frat brothers, and he's one of my younger frat brothers, but he's one of the first individuals I shared this message with back in the day when we were still in college, and I'm happy to say that he took heed to my word, and he has been able to lay the foundation for what will eventually become his business empire. And I've also had this conversation with another frat brother of mine, and he himself has been able to lay a similar foundation. And the first frat brother I was telling about, he has since been able to use the same message to share with other people to help them establish and lay a foundation for their business empires. So if it's been working for them, I know it's going to work for you. So let's dive on in. Ocean, rivers, streams. That's the premise of this message. That's what I want you to leave here remembering. That's what I want you to, moving forward from this day to your last day, think about when it comes to your business empire, I should say. Your ocean, your rivers, and your streams. So what do these words represent? Well, as you can see, and if you're just listening, think of a hierarchy. Oceans on top, rivers are on the second level, and streams are on the third level. But like any other hierarchy, there's still levels to this game, and there's certain things and that go under certain things, and that's the premise of this model right here, this framework. And that's what this is. This is a framework. This is a model. This is a visual representation to help you think through, how your business empire should be structured, as well as how to where to place the different business ideas that you will have as you grow older and continue to build your business. So as you can see here on the screen, if you're watching or if you're listening, just like I said, imagine a hierarchy chart. Same way you have a CEO, then under the CEO you have your vice presidents, and under your vice presidents you have your supervisors or managers, and underneath them you would have the employees. Same concept here, but only in this case we have our ocean at the top, and the ocean represents your holding company. Your main LLC. So you Inc. at the end of the day. That's what your ocean represents. Next level, we have the rivers. So a river is a business entity that you have. Underneath a river are your revenue streams or stream. So the streams represent the actual products that you're selling. And that's it. That's the premise of, how to build your business empire. Think ocean, rivers, and streams. So as you are deciding that you want to start a business, think of it from this perspective. So you are a holding company, you Inc., for example. So we'll get into an example after this, but just for the sake of example purposes, like I said, you Inc., you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're an investor, you have some cash, let's just say, a couple grand, and you want to make it do what it do. You want to do something with this. So you have a holding company, you go out and start an LLC, you Enterprises, you feel me? Now next, you got an idea, you've always wanted to have a restaurant. So, you decide that, you want to buy a Wingstop franchise, for example. But you also got other business aspirations as well. You feel me? Like you want to own a fitness gym. You want to own a marketing agency. You want to own some e-commerce store. You want to You have all these different other business ideas, and if you're kind of like me, you're just trying to figure out like, well, how do I structure this? Like, how do I make this here, put this here? Like, do I like how do I set this up? You feel me? And if that's how you've been feeling and what you be thinking about when you be thinking about your business, and then I'm here to tell you, like, this is how you clarify that picture for yourself. So no matter what it is you want to do, just always think of it from the perspective of ocean, rivers, and streams. So like say or the ocean represents your holding company. This is once again, for example, your last name LLC. You feel me? Like, that's your holding company. Now, like I said, you got a tax business, you got an insurance business, you got we'll just use those for examples. You got a tax business and you got an insurance business. So your tax business would be a river that is connected to your ocean or your holding company, and your river. I mean, your so you got your tax business and then you got your accounting business. That's it. Excuse me. That would be another river. And that's how you structure it out. Now underneath, like I said, each river you have your streams. So for the tax business, it might be your annual federal filings, state filings. That's a fee. State filing, that's a fee. Federal filing, that's a fee. And then underneath your insurance business, you might have whole life. That's one product. That's one stream. Term life, that's another stream. And that's how you set up the business. That's how you think it through. That's just how you, like I said, that's the overall organization structure. That's how you got to set it up. That's how the wealthy do it. You feel me? And that's just how to build a business empire the wealthy way. That's what we're talking about right now. So with that being said, now that we have a understanding of ocean, rivers, and streams, what that looks like, what they mean, now let's kind of like get into the details of each one. So ocean, like I said before, this is your holding company. This is your business empire. Like I said, and visually, like, think of the ocean. How big and how deep do you want it to be? So most people's ocean ultimately ends up just being their job, their 9 to 5. You feel me? Like, that's the majority of people in this world. Their ocean, their holding company works or provides service to usually one customer, and that's just it. So they have a very finite ability right there. But ultimately, for you, the entrepreneur, the business owner, you know what I'm saying, your ocean is going to be your holding company, your last name LLC. And then underneath, and here's the key, your job, as the captain, as the leader, as the CEO, as the boss, your job is to work on the business. So you become an expert at executive leadership at the end of the day. Like, so the goal is for you to work on the business. Now, of course, more than likely, when you first get started in your first business entity, you're gonna have to start from scratch. So you are gonna be the person that gets everything rolling. But eventually, begin with the end in mind. The goal is for you to have this business structure. And once again, your ocean, it serves as a pool of liquid capital. Your cash at the end of the day. This is the entity that kind of stores your cash and allows you to, exploit legal tax loopholes. You feel me? Like, that's what this is all about. So for example, Coca-Cola Company. When they first started Coca-Cola back in I believe it was the 1800s, let's find out real quick. We go Google this real quick. Who founded Coca-Cola? It's the beautiful thing about these internets. Who created Coca-Cola? Who created Coca-Cola? John Stith Pemberton. Who invented Coca-Cola? Dr. John S. Pemberton. He invented Coca-Cola on 8th of May, 1886 in Atlanta, Georgia. So there it is. So Mr. Pemberton in 1886, May 8th of 1886, when he came up with this formula, this idea for Coca-Cola, it was just him. He probably had a couple of homies, maybe had the wife, maybe a few relatives on board, but for the most part, it was just him. I'm pretty sure, he definitely wanted to have a successful business, but he had no idea that Coca-Cola was going to become the company it ended up becoming in 1886, that it is in 2019. I'm willing to bet that. But nevertheless, when he first started, it was just Coca-Cola, you know what I'm saying? But he over the years, begin with the end in mind, or the business just grows and develops, and then it did, and then what did it ended up doing? Eventually, you know what I'm saying? After selling Coca-Cola, which was its first river, eventually it got into the business of creating other products or other businesses. For example, Sprite. So your rivers, as you can see in the picture, like the big river right there, that connects to the ocean back there. But the river is where, you know what I'm saying, that's your business entity. So Coca-Cola, it owns a subsidiary, a brand called Sprite. Now that's its own business, period, point blank. Coca-Cola, the holding company, has no day-to-day operation business interest in Sprite, the operation, the brand, the subsidiary. But to Coca-Cola, the holding company, Sprite is a cash-generating asset. That brand in and of itself is an asset because that brand is held up by a very strong foundation of systems and teams. Period, point blank. And because of that, Coca-Cola, the holding company, has the ability to have this new river. Their ocean has this river called Sprite just pumping cash flow right into it. Period, point blank. Now, Sprite has a business. What's up? What's happening? What's going on here? You feel me? They have streams. And those streams are the goods and or services that it sells. And the ultimate goal is to create as many as possible. Figure out ways just to create more. Figure out ways to create more. So for example, what are the products that the brand of Sprite sells? It sells 12-ounce cans of Sprite. It sells 20-ounce bottles of Sprite. It sells 1-liter bottles of Sprite. And it sells 2-liter bottles of Sprite. Those are the different streams of revenue that the brand Sprite owns and operates in its day-to-day business, and then whether it's every year, every quarter, or biannually, it pays its profits up to the holding company, Coca-Cola, and that's it. You can do the same thing. So today, right now, as you've watched this video, from this day until your last day, start thinking of your business from this perspective, no matter what it is you want to do. Period, point blank. But just think of your business from an empire perspective. Think from an empire state of mind. Think wealthy about it. Think of it from a wealth perspective. You want to have ocean, rivers, and streams. So you, the ocean, your last name LLC, owns these different rivers, aka business entities, these different brands, Sprite, Fanta, Coca-Cola, for example. And from there, you create these streams or products, as many as possible. So obviously, like I said, for this example, they got Sprite, the brand at a bare minimum has 4 products it can sell at any given point in time. You want the can, you want the 20-ounce bottle, you want the 1-liter bottle, or you want the 2-liter bottle. How you want it. I got it however you need it, baby. And that's it. So the same applies to you. Whatever business you have, or whatever your business idea, overall, like I said, think of it from the top down. So think of it from the ocean to the river to the streams. Now, what's the game here? What's the whole point? You know what I'm saying? Here are the lessons. You Inc. So like I said, mind your own business. Work on your ocean. So like I said, think of your business from the top down. You feel me? So moving forward, whenever you come up with a business idea, know that it's either going to be a river or a stream. Because it's either going to be a river in that it's going to be some new entity, some new concept that you've came up with, or it's going to be a stream, a new product offering that you can add to your roster of product offerings for your business entity, aka a river. So what's the game? The game is to come up with rivers and add as many streams as possible. Like I said before, we want to create as many product offerings as possible. That's the game. That's what you're playing like. So as you're minding your business and working on your ocean, you're just trying to figure out, okay, what are some rivers that I can create, and then okay, let me add some streams to these rivers, and then now I just need to go create systems and teams to manage these things for me. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Like, that's really it. It took me years to understand this myself. And there's still times where I still have to wrap my head around it, but that's it. Period, point blank. You feel me? And the ultimate goal in all this is we want to make sure that our rivers keep our ocean overflowing with cash. That's it. So think of your rivers as your cash machines. The streams is the physical inputs that's putting the input, and the output is going to be the cash. Then that once that cash is pulled up, it pays up to the ocean. So the streams fill the streams fill the rivers fill the ocean, and the ocean is where we pull it all, so that we can do whatever we do. So the ultimate goal here is we want to build businesses, not jobs. And that's really it. So if you're trying to build a business empire, if you're trying to build a business, know that if you do not have a system and people working for you, you do not have a business, you have a job. And a job at the end of the day is worthless to someone else who you think might want to buy it from you, or a child that you want to pass it on to. Unless you have strong systems and a solid team to run those systems and manage those systems for you, then you don't have a business, you have a job. That might be a big pill, a hard pill to swallow for some of you, but that's just the reality. I had to face it. Now you got to face it. But now that you faced it, just know that there's a way out. So like I said, then that way out is boom. You got to just expand your thinking, start thinking like an empire. Like I said, start thinking about building businesses, not jobs. So like I said, with that being said, real quick, let's do a quick recap. Ocean, rivers, streams. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the premise of how to build a business empire the wealthy way. This is how they do it. You feel me? All the major companies that we all know and use and buy from on a day-to-day basis, this is how they're set up. And you can be set up the same way. Now, of course, you're not going to be as big as them when you first get started, but if you keep building, then you maybe could, maybe not, or fall, short of the glory. Like they say, if you aim for the stars, you at least hit the moon. Shoot for the sky. Because if you aim for the stars, you at least hit the moon. I think that's the full quote. But the same applies here to you and your business. So, like I said, don't think that you have to be the person that does everything in the business. And by in the business, I mean delivering the product. You feel me? Like, no, your job is just to, like I said, as the chairman of the board, as the big boss, the big CEO, the man behind the man, in the boardroom in the conference room, of the chairman of the board for the holding company and your holding company. And if it's just you, it's still the same principle, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Begin with the end in mind. So ocean, river, streams, you got the juice now. You understand it. You know how to see it. You know how to think it through. This is your foundation. If you have any questions, you know how to get at me. As always, make sure you go follow us at BBWCN on Instagram, Twitter as well. Search Billionaire Belief on Facebook if you like to hang out over there. But most importantly, go to billionairebelief.com. And I got some great gifts, some great products for you, some courses. Get access to starting from zero. That kind of like is the main presentation. But you'll also get access to some our personal finance course as well. That's coming, but you'll be one of the first to get access to it as of this recording. But all in all, like you said, I'm here to help. I would love to help you build your business. So just give me a call if you have any questions. Give me a call. I mean, you can call me. My number is out there. But like I said, use the comment section below. Shoot me an email, billionairebelief@gmail.com. I'm here. I'm ready. Let's get it. Peace.